If you guys never assaulted a black woman on Wednesday, we wouldn't be here.
We have a right to be heard! We have a right to be in these streets! If you choose to again come at peaceful protesters, it will be televised!
I think the solution is changing their contracts, changing the rights that protect them. There's no reason that we should be waiting 24 to 48 hours after an officer discharges his firearm. That gives him time to corroborate and fabricate a story, which we have seen time and time again that the police department does. Even with the Adam Toledo case, where the police department murdered a 13-year-old kid, the official statement was that it was a standoff and that this 13-year-old was armed. But yet, their body cam footage shows that he complied with their orders and he was still murdered. So, I believe the solution is dealing with the police unions, stripping away their gross protections that they have that shield them from accountability. And then that way, when you see an officer come out here and violates people's civil liberties, we can actually expect justice. Because what we saw with the George Floyd case, unfortunately, was an exception. And that should not be the case.
The solution is simple. We need to make sure that the city council has a ban on tear gas and has a ban on pepper bullets. We need to make sure that there is an accountability for the harm that officers have caused. We need to make sure that the chief, the mayor, the city council are actually in conversation with people about the change that needs to happen and then implement the change. You just can't keep talking. Because we need to talk about it. We need to discuss it. No, the people need to see action. That's the solution we need.
If you choose to again come at peaceful protesters, it will be televised!
Right now, what you're seeing is the effects of people protesting Lieutenant Anderson. That's kind of being brought up into more different acts of police brutality. So for the past 6 days, people have been out here protesting against Devin Anderson, calling for his resignment. Now what you're seeing is officers try to kick people out of the area in aggressive ways where they're using unnecessary force because people are yelling at them. That right now is what they're using as the reasoning behind why they're using force on protesters. So again, this is just really in retaliation of Devin Anderson for his acts of physical harm, where he actually bust a protester in her mouth after moving behind his officers to grab her blowhorn while she was protesting and speaking towards him. That's when he decided to try to grab her blowhorn, actually hit her in the mouth. Now what you're seeing is more officers again use physical force. Earlier they broke up the Occupy, where there was tons of tents here, and they came and they broke them up by using the batons and hitting the tents while people were still inside. They threw gas in the tents while people were still inside. So now this is the result of that, what you're seeing here.
What you think could be the solution for all of this?
The only solution, and the only solutions that will ever fix any of this, is if we renew the contract with the police department and the union, as well as we disband Albany Police Department by having the feds come in and take over for a moment until we hire new cops. Our brass has to be broken down completely, from lieutenant to sergeant.
Thank you, brother.
Sorry, my bad.